Sunday's lesson. The lesson focuses on Jesus healing the blind man and references Mark 8:22, but I want to focus instead on John 9, the healing of the blind man in John 9. This is out of the NIV. And he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned that this man or his parents that he was born blind? Neither this man nor his parents sinned, but this happened so that the work of God might be displayed in his life. As long as it is day, we must do the work of God who sent him," so forth and so on. And then he told him, he spit on the ground, made some mud with the saliva, put it in the man's eyes, "Go and wash in the pool of Siloam." The man went and washed, came home seeing. Has that ever been kind of confusing why he did it this way? It's never been totally clear to me, but recently I was talking to a Messianic Jewish rabbi, Eric Walker, who told me that there was a specific reason it was done this way. And that is because the Messiah had to actually achieve several different things in order to be a Messiah, the Messiah for the Jewish people. One, he had to display creative power. Two, he had to forgive sin. And so, by the way, he says, and they were listed in the answer to the disciples of John the Baptist. Go back and tell him. And what he listed were the specific elements that the Messiah would have to fulfill. The blind would receive their sight. And I'm going to unpack that one in a minute and show you that this is him using creative power. The lepers are cleansed. That's the forgiving of sins. He has to have the power to forgive sins. He cleansed lepers. The deaf hear. He has to enlighten. The dead are raised, and Lazarus was raised after 4 days because they believe the soul hovers around for 4 days. So he waited for 4 days to show he had the power over death to raise Lazarus. And the gospel is actually preached, the true message. So all those elements had to be achieved. And so in this particular one, he shows God's creative power according to this Jewish Messianic rabbi. And here's what he says, the understand the mud. It says, in the beginning God created. John 9, Jesus encounters a man blind at the pool of Siloam. It says that the man was blind from birth. Now it begs the question, how could they determine 2,000 years ago with 100% certainty that there was no visual acuity in a newborn? No visual acuity, blind from birth. They say that the only way you can be 100% certain was he was born without eyes. And the view is he was born without eyes. His eyes were closed. He had no eyes. And that what you see here happening is that just as the water, reading out of Genesis chapter 2, the mist arose from the earth and watered the whole surface of the earth. Then the Lord God formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed his nostrils the breath of life, and they became a living being. As God took dirt and made man, Jesus took mud, moistened it, and created eyes. This is their view. So it fulfills one of the criteria for the Messiah. He would have creative power. He would create, just like God created in the beginning. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not going to affirmatively say that's exactly how it happened. I have no problem with it actually happening. Was there any objection that I don't think I can say with 100% certainty that's what happened. But if this idea, is there any objection anyone can think of that it couldn't have happened? This is a problem to say it happened this way in anyone's mind? I like the idea a lot. It makes a lot of sense to me for it to be this way. It's kind of cool, isn't it?